It happened back in 2020, right when the world felt like it had just paused. COVID had shut everything down, people were locked inside, and the streets felt empty, like something out of a dystopian film. But I saw it as an opportunity. I've always been a passionate backpacker and camper, and with everyone hunkered down, I figured, what better time to disappear into nature for a while? So, I loaded up my truck, grabbed my gear, and drove a few hours out to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. My plan was to set up camp near a secluded creek I'd hiked to once before. It's a place that always gave me a deep sense of peace. I needed that more than ever. See, a year earlier, in 2019, something happened. Something that seriously messed up my life. Without going into too many details, I made a mistake at my job, a big one. A lot of people lost money because of me. It wasn't intentional, but the fallout was brutal. My name got dragged through the mud, people turned on me, and for a while, I was getting threatening texts. Random numbers, different area codes, sometimes just silence, sometimes worse. Eventually it died down, or so I thought. So here I was, hiking alone through a thin blanket of snow. Every step made that crisp crunch sound. The air was sharp, cold, and clean, and there was no one else around. Not surprising, since it was winter and the pandemic had just taken hold. When I reached the creek, I felt like I could breathe again. It was still flowing, not frozen, cutting through the silence like a heartbeat. I set up camp a little ways off the trail, started a fire, cooked some food, and sat by the flames with a book. For the first time in months, I actually felt calm. As night fell, I lit my headlamp and sparked up a joint, just enough to settle deeper into that calm. I remember thinking, this is it. This is the peace I needed. Then my phone buzzed. Weird, I thought. I hadn't heard from anyone all day. I pulled it out of my jacket pocket. A bunch of texts. Unknown number. The first one said, "How's your camping going, buddy?" The second, "It's beautiful out here." And then, "I see why you came up here." My heart dropped. That last message? That was the one that turned my blood to ice. I stood up fast, spinning in a full circle, scanning the dark tree line with my headlamp. Nothing. Just snow and trees and silence. But now I was on edge. The weed definitely wasn't helping anymore. I grabbed my bag and pulled out my Sig Sauer P365 handgun. I'd brought it for emergencies, but suddenly this felt like one. Back in the tent, I tried to calm down. I told myself it was probably someone messing with me. Maybe a friend, but who would know I was here? I hadn't told anyone the exact spot. Not even my family. I texted back, "Who is this?" Minutes dragged by. No response. I couldn't read. I couldn't sleep. So I started watching YouTube videos to distract myself. True crime documentaries, of all things. Probably not the smartest choice, considering. Then the next message came. Doesn't matter anymore. It felt like someone whispered directly into my ear. I replied again, fingers shaking. "How did you know I'm camping?" Nothing. Now the fire outside was burning low. The light flickering against the walls of my tent was the only thing keeping the darkness from swallowing me whole. No crickets, no animals, just the dead, hollow silence of winter. Then I heard it. Footsteps in the snow. Crunch. Crunch. Getting closer. I sat frozen, holding the gun tight, my breath shallow. The steps stopped, just feet away from my tent. And then flash. A quick burst of white light lit up the tent wall. Someone either flashed a light at me or took a picture. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just waited. The steps slowly faded away, crunching back into the woods. Then my phone buzzed again. A picture. It was my tent, taken from the outside. Then another message. "Have a good night's sleep." Something snapped inside me. That deep, primal instinct kicked in. I wasn't going to just sit here and be prey. I unzipped the tent, raised the gun, and fired 2 rounds into the air. Bang. Bang. Silence. Then running. Fast footsteps crashing through the snow, away from me. They were out there the whole time, watching. I screamed out into the woods, pure rage and fear, and then ducked back into the tent, heart pounding like a war drum. And that was it. No more footsteps. No more messages. I stayed up for hours, wired with adrenaline, gripping that pistol like it was the only thing tethering me to safety. Eventually, exhaustion won. I passed out. When I woke up to daylight filtering through the fabric of the tent, I've never felt more relieved in my life. Whoever it was, they didn't expect me to be armed. They didn't expect me to fight back, and they never contacted me again. It's been almost 5 years now. No more messages. No more threats. But that night never left me. Not the footsteps. Not the flash. Not that picture of my tent in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes, I still wonder how close they really got, and what would have happened if I didn't bring that gun.